Welcome back to Easy English Talk Podcast.
Have you ever stood in front of people, ready to speak, but your mind just went blank? Your heart started racing, your hands felt cold, and the words just wouldn't come out? That feeling of fear right before speaking is something almost everyone has experienced at least once. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Easy English Talk Podcast. I'm Ryan, and with me, as always, is my co-host, Priya. Today, we're discussing how to speak confidently in any situation.
Hi, everyone. It's great to have you with us today. This is such an important topic because speaking confidently can change so many parts of your life. Whether it's at work, with friends, or even talking to strangers, confidence makes everything easier.
Exactly. And I think most people want to feel more confident when they speak. But the problem is that confidence doesn't just appear out of nowhere. It's something we have to build, step by step. And that's exactly what we're going to talk about today.
And I love that you mentioned it's something we build, because a lot of people think confidence is something you're born with. They look at confident speakers and think, oh, they're just naturally good at this. But the truth is, confidence is a skill, and anyone can learn it.
That's such an important point, Priya. So let's start by understanding the problem first. Why do so many people struggle with speaking confidently?
Well, I think the biggest reason is fear. Fear of being judged, fear of saying something wrong, or fear of looking foolish in front of others. This fear can be so strong that it stops people from speaking at all.
Well, I think the biggest reason is fear. Fear of being judged, fear of saying something wrong, or fear of looking foolish in front of others. This fear can be so strong that it stops people from speaking at all.
Exactly, and the brain is just trying to help, but actually it's making things worse, because when you avoid speaking, you never get the chance to practice and improve. And without practice, the fear just stays there, and sometimes even gets bigger.
That's a really good point. Another reason people struggle is because they overthink everything. They worry too much about choosing the perfect words or sounding smart, and this makes speaking feel like a huge task.
Yes, overthinking is a confidence killer. When you're thinking too much about how you sound, you're not focused on what you're actually saying, and that makes you more nervous and less natural.
And there's also the problem of comparing yourself to others. People see someone who speaks really well and they think, I could never be like that. This comparison makes them feel like they're not good enough, which hurts their confidence even more.
Absolutely, and social media makes this even worse. We see videos of people giving perfect speeches or having amazing conversations, and we forget that those are often edited or practiced many times. We're comparing our real, messy attempts to someone else's best moment, and that's just not fair to ourselves.
That's so true. So, to sum up the problem, people struggle with confidence because of fear, overthinking, and comparing themselves to others. These things work together to make speaking feel scary and difficult.
And the sad part is that this lack of confidence can really hold people back in life. It stops them from sharing their ideas at work, making new friends, or even asking for help when they need it. Confidence isn't just about speaking well, it's about living fully.
Well said, Priya. Now that we understand the problem, let's move into the solutions. And the first solution is something that might surprise people because it's so simple.
Oh, I'm curious. What is it?
The first step to speaking confidently is to accept that you will make mistakes, and that's completely okay. In fact, mistakes are not your enemy, they're your teacher. Every time you make a mistake, you learn something new.
I love this because so many people think they need to be perfect before they can speak confidently. But the truth is, perfection is impossible, and waiting for it means you'll never start. The truth is, confident people make mistakes too. They just don't let those mistakes stop them.
Exactly. They see mistakes as part of the learning process, not as proof that they're bad at speaking. So the first mental shift you need to make is this. Mistakes are normal, and they don't define you. What defines you is how you keep going after making a mistake.
And honestly, most people don't even notice your mistakes as much as you think they do. When you're speaking, you're very aware of every little thing you say, but your listeners are just focused on the main message, so don't waste energy worrying about small errors.
That's a great point. Now, the second solution is to practice speaking in low-pressure situations first. You don't need to start by giving a big speech in front of 100 people.
Right. Start small and build up slowly. For example, you could practice speaking more during casual conversations with friends or family. Or you could practice talking to yourself in the mirror, which might sound funny, but it actually works really well.
Yes, talking to yourself helps you get comfortable with hearing your own voice and organizing your thoughts out loud. You can also try recording yourself speaking and then listening back. This helps you notice things you want to improve without the pressure of a live audience.
Another great low-pressure practice is ordering food at a restaurant or asking a question in the store. These are quick, simple interactions where you can practice speaking clearly without worrying too much. And because they're so short, even if you feel nervous, it's over quickly.
I like that idea because it's something you can do almost every day. The more you practice in these small moments, the more natural speaking becomes. And that natural feeling is the foundation of confidence.
Absolutely. Because confidence doesn't come from being perfect, it comes from being comfortable. And you become comfortable by doing something again and again until it feels normal. So practice is really the key to everything.
Now let's talk about the third solution, which is about your body language. A lot of people don't realize that how you hold your body affects how confident you feel. If you stand tall, make eye contact, and keep your shoulders back, you'll actually start to feel more confident.
Yes, this is backed by science, Ryan. There are studies that show when you change your posture, it changes the chemicals in your brain. Standing in a strong, open position can actually make you feel more powerful and less afraid.
That's amazing, and it's such an easy thing to do. Before you speak, take a moment to stand up straight, take a deep breath, and relax your shoulders. This simple action can change your whole mindset.
And don't forget about eye contact. When you look at people while you're speaking, it shows that you're confident and that you believe in what you're saying. It also helps you connect with your audience, which makes speaking feel less scary.
But I know some people find eye contact really uncomfortable. So here's a little trick. If looking directly into someone's eyes feels too intense, you can look at the space between their eyes or at their nose. They won't notice the difference, but you'll feel more comfortable.
That's a really helpful tip, Brian. And another thing about body language is to avoid closed-off positions like crossing your arms or looking down. These positions make you look and feel less confident, so keep your body open and relaxed.
Great advice. Now, the fourth solution is about preparation, but not in the way most people think. You don't need to memorize every single word you're going to say.
Oh, that's such an important point because over-preparing can actually hurt your confidence. When you memorize a speech word for word, you become terrified of forgetting a line. And if you do forget, you panic and lose your place completely.
Exactly. So instead of memorizing, focus on knowing your main points. Think of your speech or conversation like a map with a few key stops along the way. You know where you're starting, where you're going, and the important points in between. But the exact route can be flexible.
I love that analogy, Ryan. So you might prepare 3 to 5 main ideas that you want to talk about, and then you let yourself speak naturally about each one. This way you sound more relaxed and authentic, not like you're reading from a script.
And if you do forget something or get off track, it's no big deal. You just pause, take a breath, and bring yourself back to your next main point. Your audience won't even notice that you skipped something.
Another part of preparation is thinking about possible questions or challenges you might face. If you're speaking at work, for example, think about what questions people might ask and prepare simple answers. This helps you feel ready without feeling rigid.
That's really smart. And it also reduces anxiety because you've already thought through the hard parts. So preparation is important, but the goal is to feel ready, not to feel perfect. There's a big difference between those two things.
Absolutely. Being ready means you know your topic well and you trust yourself to handle whatever comes up. Being perfect means you're trying to control every single detail, and that's just exhausting. So aim for ready, not perfect.
Now let's move to the fifth solution, which is managing your nerves. Even the most confident speakers feel nervous sometimes, so the goal isn't to eliminate nerves completely. The goal is to manage them so they don't control you.
Yes, and the first step in managing nerves is understanding that they're actually normal and even helpful. When you feel nervous, your body is getting ready for action. Your heart beats faster to send more blood to your brain, and your senses become sharper.
That's right. So instead of thinking, oh no, I'm nervous, something is wrong, you can think, I'm nervous, which means my body is preparing me to do something important. It's just a shift in perspective, but it can make a huge difference.
And one of the best ways to calm your nerves is through breathing. When you're anxious, your breathing becomes fast and shallow, which makes you feel even more panicked. But if you slow down your breathing, you signal to your brain that everything is okay.
A simple technique is to breathe in slowly through your nose for 4 counts, hold for 4, and then breathe out through your mouth for 4 counts. Do this a few times before you speak, and you'll notice your body starts to relax. It's like hitting a reset button for your nervous system.
That's a great technique, Ryan. Another thing that helps is to move your body a little bit before speaking. If you're sitting for a long time and then suddenly have to speak, your body might feel stiff and tense.
Yes, so if you can, stand up, stretch, or even walk around for a minute. This releases some of that nervous energy and helps you feel more loose and ready. Physical movement really does help calm the mind.
And here's something that might sound strange, but it works. Try smiling before you speak. Even if you don't feel happy, the physical act of smiling sends signals to your brain that make you feel calmer and more positive. It's a little mind trick, but it's surprisingly effective.
I've heard about that, and it really does work. It's like your brain doesn't know if you're smiling because you're happy or if you're happy because you're smiling, so it just goes with it. Plus, when you smile, other people respond more warmly to you, which makes the whole experience better.
Exactly. And that brings us to another important point. Focus on your audience, not on yourself. When you're speaking, if you're only thinking about how you look or sound, you're going to feel more nervous. But if you focus on the people you're talking to and how you can help or connect with them, the pressure lifts.
That's such a powerful shift, Priya. Instead of thinking everyone is judging me, you think I'm here to share something useful with these people. It changes speaking from being about you to being about them, and that takes away so much fear.
And the truth is, most audiences want you to succeed. They're not sitting there hoping you'll mess up. They're hoping you'll do well because they want to enjoy what you're saying. So they're actually on your side, not against you.
I love that reminder. Now, let's talk about the 6th solution, which is about your voice itself. A lot of people don't realize how you use your voice has a big impact on how confident you sound.
Yes, and the first thing to know is that speaking too fast makes you sound nervous and unclear. When people are anxious, they tend to rush through their words because they want to get it over with. But this just makes things worse because the audience can't follow what you're saying.
So the solution is simple. Slow down. Speak at a pace where each word is clear and you have time to breathe between sentences. It might feel too slow to you at first, but to your listeners, it will sound just right.
And don't be afraid of pauses, Ryan. A lot of people think they need to fill every second with words, but pauses are actually really powerful. They give you time to think, and they give your audience time to absorb what you just said.
Exactly. Confident speakers use pauses all the time. If you forget what you were going to say, just pause, take a breath, and continue. It looks completely natural, and no one will think anything of it.
Another important thing is volume. If you speak too quietly, people will struggle to hear you and you'll sound unsure of yourself. But if you speak at a strong, clear volume, you sound more confident and authoritative.
And you don't need to shout. Just project your voice so that even the people in the back of the room can hear you comfortably. Imagine you're trying to reach the farthest person without straining your voice. That's the right level.
Also, pay attention to your tone. If your voice is flat and monotone, people will lose interest quickly. But if you vary your tone going up and down naturally as you speak, you'll keep people engaged.
Yes, and this doesn't mean you need to be dramatic or over the top. Just speak naturally, the way you would if you were telling a story to a friend. Let your voice go up when you're excited or asking a question, and let it go down when you're making a serious point.
That's great advice, and it's something you can practice easily. Try reading out loud from a book or article and focus on making your voice more expressive. It might feel silly at first, but it really helps you sound more confident and interesting.
Now let's talk about the 7th solution, which is something many people overlook: building your knowledge. One reason people feel unconfident is because they're not sure if they know enough about the topic they're discussing.
Yes, and confidence often comes from competence. When you know your topic well, you feel more secure and less afraid of being challenged or asked difficult questions. So if you're going to speak about something, make sure you understand it deeply.
That doesn't mean you need to be an expert on everything, but you should know enough to speak comfortably. Do some research, read articles, watch videos, or talk to people who know more than you. The more knowledge you have, the more confident you'll feel.
And if someone asks you a question and you don't know the answer, that's completely okay. Confident people aren't afraid to say, I don't know, but I'll find out and get back to you. It's honest, and people respect honesty more than someone trying to fake their way through an answer.
That's such an important point, Priya. Confidence isn't about knowing everything, it's about being comfortable with what you do know and being honest about what you don't. That kind of honesty actually builds trust and makes you more credible.
Exactly. And when you combine knowledge with the other skills we've talked about, like body language and voice control, you become a really strong communicator. It all works together.
Now, the eighth solution is about mindset, and this one is really powerful. You need to stop thinking of speaking as a performance and start thinking of it as a conversation.
Oh, I love this idea, Ryan. When you think of speaking as a performance, you put all this pressure on yourself to be perfect and impressive. But when you think of it as a conversation, it becomes much more relaxed and natural.
Exactly. Even if you're speaking to a large group, you can imagine you're just talking to one person at a time. You're sharing ideas, asking questions, and connecting with people. That's all it is.
And in a conversation, mistakes are normal. People interrupt themselves, they change their mind mid-sentence, they forget words, and it's all fine. So give yourself the same freedom when you're speaking.
Yes, and this mindset also helps you stay present. When you think of speaking as a performance, you're often thinking about the past or the future, what you just said or what you're going to say next. But in a conversation, you're focused on the moment, and that makes you sound more genuine and connected.
That's such a good point. And it also makes speaking more enjoyable. If you see it as a chance to connect and share, rather than a test you need to pass, the whole experience becomes more positive. And when you enjoy it more, you naturally become more confident.
Absolutely. Now, let's talk about the ninth solution, which is learning from others. One of the best ways to improve your confidence is to watch and learn from confident speakers.
Yes, and you don't need to copy them exactly, but you can notice what makes them effective. Pay attention to how they use pauses, how they move their body, how they engage with their audience. You'll start to pick up techniques that you can adapt for yourself.
And you can learn from speakers in all kinds of situations. Podcasts, YouTube videos, TED Talks, or even just friends and coworkers who speak well. Notice what works and what doesn't, and think about why.
Another thing you can do is join a group or class where people practice speaking. There are groups like Toastmasters where people get together specifically to improve their public speaking skills. It's a supportive environment where everyone is learning together.
That's a great suggestion because practicing with others gives you immediate feedback and helps you grow faster. Plus, you realize that everyone struggles with confidence at times, even people who seem really polished. It's comforting to know you're not alone.
And the more you practice with others, the more you realize that speaking isn't the scary, impossible thing. It's just a skill, and like any skill, you get better with time and effort. So learning from others and practicing with them can really speed up your progress.
Now, the 10th and final solution is about building a habit of speaking regularly. Confidence isn't something you achieve once and then you have it forever. It's something you maintain by continuing to speak and challenge yourself.
Yes, if you only speak in public once a year, you'll probably feel nervous every single time. But if you speak regularly, even in small ways, it becomes normal and comfortable. So look for opportunities to speak as often as you can.
That could mean volunteering to share your ideas in meetings at work, joining conversations more actively with friends, or even commenting or asking questions in online groups. Any chance to express yourself out loud is a chance to build confidence.
And don't wait until you feel confident to start speaking. That's backwards. You start speaking even when you're nervous, and the confidence comes from the doing.
That's exactly right, Priya. Action comes first, and confidence follows. A lot of people think they need to feel confident before they can act, but actually, you act and then you feel confident because you survived it and did okay.
And every time you speak, even if it doesn't go perfectly, you're proving to yourself that you can do it. You're collecting evidence that you're capable, and that evidence builds your confidence over time. So each small step forward really matters.
Absolutely. And remember that progress isn't always linear. Some days you'll feel more confident than others, and that's normal. What matters is that you keep showing up and keep trying.
And be kind to yourself along the way. If you have a moment where you didn't speak as well as you hoped, don't beat yourself up about it. Just notice what you could do differently next time, and then let it go.
That's really important because self-criticism just makes you more afraid to speak in the future, but self-compassion gives you the courage to try again. So treat yourself like you would treat a good friend who's learning something new.
I love that, Ryan. And I think that's a perfect place to wrap up this part of our discussion. We've covered so much today, from understanding the problem to building practical skills and the right mindset.
We really have, and I hope everyone listening feels inspired and ready to work on their own speaking confidence. It's not about becoming a perfect speaker. It's about becoming comfortable and authentic when you share your voice, and that's something every single person can achieve.
Exactly. And remember that every confident speaker you see was once a beginner too. They felt nervous, they made mistakes, and they kept going. So you're not behind. You're just at the beginning of your own journey.
Well said, Priya. So to sum everything up quickly, speaking confidently comes down to a few key things. First, accept that mistakes are part of learning, not signs of failure.
Second, practice in low-pressure situations so you build comfort gradually. Third, use strong body language to help yourself feel and look more confident. And fourth, prepare by knowing your main points, not by memorizing everything word for word.
Fifth, manage your nerves through breathing, movement, and focusing on your audience instead of yourself. Sixth, use your voice well by speaking slowly, clearly, and with variety. And seventh, build your knowledge so you feel secure in what you're talking about.
Eighth, shift your mindset from performance to conversation. Ninth, learn from other confident speakers and practice with supportive groups. And 10th, make speaking a regular habit so confidence becomes natural over time.
Those 10 solutions, when practiced together, will absolutely change the way you feel about speaking. And the beautiful thing is, you can start working on any of these today, right now. You don't need special tools or years of training, just the willingness to try.
And honestly, the hardest part is just starting. Once you take that first step, the rest becomes easier. So if you're listening to this and feeling nervous about speaking, take a deep breath and commit to doing one small thing this week to practice.
Maybe that's speaking up in a meeting, starting a conversation with someone new, or even just talking to yourself in the mirror. Whatever it is, do it and notice how you feel afterward. I think you'll surprise yourself with how capable you really are.
And remember, confidence isn't about being the loudest person in the room or having all the answers. It's about being comfortable in your own voice and trusting that what you have to say matters, because it does.
That's a perfect way to put it, Priya. Your voice matters, your ideas matter, and the world needs to hear from you. So don't let fear keep you silent.
And we're here to support you on that journey. Thank you so much for spending this time with us today. We really appreciate you choosing to learn and grow with Easy English Talk Podcast.
Yes, thank you so much for listening. If you enjoyed this episode, we'd love for you to explore some of our other topics as well. We have episodes on building better habits, managing stress, improving relationships, and so much more.
And all of our episodes are designed with the same care. Simple English, clear explanations, and practical advice you can actually use. So take a look at our other episodes and find something that speaks to you.
We'll be back soon with another topic to help you live more confidently and thoughtfully. Until then, keep practicing, keep learning, and most importantly, keep speaking. Take care, everyone.
Take care, and we'll talk to you next time.